Welcome back. Welcome back to Kimi and to Arwen Lewis, who's joining us on the show today. Kimi Kato, this is the Kimi Kato show. Yeah, you're in the right place. It's where we bring you Kimi and I. I'm Jeremiah. In case you haven't met me, I'm Kimi's co-host. We bring you the latest in music, culture, and everything in the fascinating world of Japan. When you are on our last show, Kimi, you were just taking off. I think like you turned off the mic and you jumped in the car and you went to LAX
That is
and jumped
correct.
on a flight
Yes.
to Austin.
Yep.
I mean, you were like,
Yep.
it was tight.
Yeah, it was
and
very tight. But you know what? What
and here
happened
you
was
are.
at the end of the day, the flight got delayed, so I was like, having to wait
Oh
at the
no,
airport. But
that's
yeah,
the
it was.
worst.
You know what? The flight was delayed on the way, and it was delayed on the way back.
Oh no. How late? How long were you delayed?
So on the way, I think it was about an hour delay, and then on the way back, it was like a couple of hours. Yeah, I mean, it happens,
So
doesn't it?
yeah, I guess it happens. It happens to everybody. I'm surprised you weren't on your private Project Asteri plane, but you got to go like the you got to flight
Yeah,
coach every once in a while, right?
absolutely.
And so you've got somebody here with you. You're co-hosting today at the Project Asteri offices down there in Los Angeles. Uh, bring in your
Yeah.
guest host there, Kimmy.
Yes. So today I wanted to talk about South by Southwest because we went and took with me one of my staff at Project Asteri who is in charge of marketing and promo, and her name is Michelle. And welcome, Michelle, on the show.
Hello,
Hey, Michelle.
everyone. Hi. Thank you
So
for
good to
having
have
me.
you here.
Thank you.
So we've also on my side here. I didn't want to be outdone, Kimmy, so I invited Arwen Lewis, one of the hosts in Evolve Entertainment and the Arwen Lewis Show. She's got an amazing show about music. Can I want to read her bio because I just love it every
Yes,
time I get a
please.
chance to read it. So Arwen Lewis is a singer, a songwriter, and a guitarist. She inhabits our blue planet, but her beliefs belong in the celestial realm. As the daughter of Peter Lewis, the founding member of rock and roll cult icon Moby Grape, and she's a granddaughter of Oscar-winning actress Loretta Young. She's been. Is that where you get your great smile from, Arwen?
I guess so. And my mom. Mom has a nice smile too.
Your mom, yes, your mom has a beautiful smile. She's been part, that's Arwen Lewis we're talking about, of the creative cosmos all of her life. She's a slice of sonic heaven. She's poised to enter your heart and your mind and your soul. She's an artist, a producer, and a writer. And she's our radio co-host this hour. Welcome, Arwen. So, Arwen, you were just down in South by Southwest as well.
I was. It was so magical and it always goes by too quick.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So many
All
great
right.
fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't say anything. The only thing is I have some interesting history on it. So in the beginning, when it first started, my friends who I go to stay with every year, they're from Austin and Texas natives. And Jet, who actually worked in the entertainment industry for a long time, said in the very beginning that it was for unsigned artists who would go down there and get record deals. And now it's become this very big, just this huge extravaganza, which is great too for the economy and everything. But then the underground showcases the unofficial showcases have kind of turned into like the original South by Southwest. And that's kind of, I mean, I am a signed artist, but that's something that I was a part of. I was a part of a record store showcase at Antone's Record Store over on Guadalupe Street. And a lot of really talented, like rootsy musicians played. I was the only solo acoustic performer. Then they had a band, a soul kind of funk band called the Soul Phonics. And then Al Stahaley, you met Al Stahaley. He performed the band, and then so did Freddie Steady Kirch. You also met Freddie on my show. But yeah, I mean, it's just great. It's Austin. The cool thing about Austin is there's always great live music, and I think it's really amazing that people from all over the world come there now to put on this just giant celebration. So yeah, it's awesome.
Right.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I just want to say one last thing. Out of the three of you, Michelle, Arwen, Kimmy, you all three of you have been to South by Southwest. And once again, Kimmy, I'm playing the role of the guy who is left out and doesn't really know much, but is trying to catch up with you guys. I've never been. So maybe next
Well,
year, Kimmy,
yeah, next year.
you guys
Let's go
pack me in
together.
your
Yeah,
suitcase.
let's go. Let's go.
Okay. So I
Yeah.
can't wait. This is the best part, I think, about the show for me is that I get to learn and kind of live vicariously through Project Asteri and Kimi Kato and learn about Japan, but also about your world. So I'm gonna kind of just sit back and
Yeah.
listen a little bit here. Kimmy, take it
Yeah.
from me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And just for those who might not know about South by Southwest, I'm just going to quickly introduce what this event, this whole extravaganza is about. It was founded in 1987 in Austin, Texas. It was, as Owen mentioned, it was originally for indie artists, for unsigned artists that were performing there to be signed. But now it's become, over the years, an event, an annual conglomerate of film, interactive media, music festivals, and conferences that takes place in Austin now. It's a breeding ground for new ideas, innovation, artistic expressions. And, the reason why I wanted to talk about this was because it was just such an overwhelming experience for both myself and Michelle. It was the whole town was the festival. So I would say it's an event that takes over the whole town for about a week, and you get to experience night and day, both night and day, all the excitement that goes on, not just in music, but in tech and film, or etc. So, yeah, and thank you, Arwen, for coming on the show to talk about our experience, the three of us, without Jeremiah, the experience that we had at South by. But yeah, so that's how it went. So how was it for you, Arwen?
It was great. When I got in on Thursday, I guess, and then Friday we went to Hole in the Wall, and my friends' bands were playing there, and that was such a cool space. Have you been there?
No, we didn't.
Jeremiah said he'd
I
been before.
Yeah, Michelle, I hear that you went out late at night. Kimmy, you just did the
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah,
You were taking
I
a
just
nap by
did.
5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Did I give away secrets?
Well, no, I stayed out for dinner.
You stayed up
He
through
made it
dinner.
through dinner.
I'm just teasing, Kimmy. Yeah, it's a hole in the wall. I was telling Arwen I saw a post on her social media feed, and uh, she's standing with a friend in front of the bar, and it instantly brought back like you've ever had those, like you remember a bad night of like there's only been a few in my life, but a bad night of drinking, and you could taste it all of a sudden, like I could taste
Oh
it in my
no.
I'm like, I could smell whiskey because I had been to that bar, and that was the last stop after about 10 bars that night. And but I remembered exactly, took me right back. But
It
that
was
wasn't at South by Southwest. That's just the bar.
It's definitely like a vibe for sure. It's kind of like old and dark and dingy, but it's like a place where like I think like a lot of prestigious musicians come through and play there. I'm trying to think about something comparable to it here in California. I don't know if they have something like that in Japan too, but anyway, they have two stages. When you walk in, there's a stage in the front, and then that's like a front bar, and you walk to the back, and then there's like a kind of like, I don't know, like a dance floor, and then a bigger stage and another bar, and then there's a patio, and then a restaurant in the back too. So it's like a really big space. The sound was great. They had, I think, like 5 bands play that night, and they all did like 30-minute sets, and there was like a psychedelic rock band, and then there was kind of more of like a 90s grunge band, and like every artist had like their own unique vibe. So like it was just it set the tone, for the weekend, and that was nice. And the next day, yeah, I did my showcase at Antone's, and then I went and performed on the Co-op, which is KOOP, and I did a live radio show. So I performed live, and then I talked about the Arwen Lewis show and then our shows as well, and shared some family history, and it was just a really great experience. That host of that show is named Rush K. Evans, and he's been doing a show called The Singer and the Song for, I don't know, 20 years maybe. And I was very lucky. I've done this 2 years in a row. They like to feature an out-of-town artist during South by Southwest. So I got that slot, and that was really nice.
That's amazing. And I'm sorry that I couldn't come to see your show because I just had one artist that was rehearsing and we had a show at 1 o'clock. But I really am bummed that I missed your show. I was going to go for sure. But next time I would love to come see you perform wherever you are. Any plans in performing in LA soon?
I just got invited back to play at the Redwood Bar. It's kind of, that's another space, like, we're kind of like a dingy place, but like people go there and play. I'll be there in the summer with my bandmate George Adrian.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I'll let you know.
All right. Oh,
Well, I'll come down. I keep threatening that.
We'll have it'll be a party.
Yeah, definitely.
You love that, right, Michelle?
Do a mini,
I'm
mini South by.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a real quick question, if you guys don't mind indulging me for a second. I got a Jeremiah question.
Go.
It's Kimi. It's one for Kimi, one for Michelle. Kimi, Project Asteri, and can you explain your boutique agency just a little bit for maybe listeners that aren't aware of it? And then
sure, absolutely.
why were you at South by Southwest? And then I got a follow up for Michelle after that.
Sure. So my company, Project Asteri, works on mainly with artists coming from Japanese artists from Japan coming into the US and try to find opportunities globally. We also work with international artists that are not signed to the major labels who don't have a team or foothold in the Japanese market. We help market and promote the artists over there. So I do both basically cross-border marketing and promotion across Japan, mainly in Japan and the US. We have an office in Korea, but yeah, so mainly Asia and the US. So and doing that, I started my company in 2020. I actually did also help a lot of digital platforms, US-based digital platforms going into Japan, getting all the songs licensing and sync clearances, etc. But my main background have always been in the record label business, and hence when I launched my company, my mission statement would be to help artists to develop artists so that they grow their music, their fan base, their opportunities, and have artists create their own career through their own music. And that's what I've always wanted to do and support, is the artists become a significant artist and and etch their names and songs in history. That's my ultimate goal for all the artists that I work with.
You've worked with some pretty large artists, haven't you?
Well, I've been very lucky to have worked at Universal for 20 years and Avex for 3 years. But yes, I was able to witness and work together with and alongside with many unique, superb, tremendous creative artists of our times. So yeah, and the reason why I was at South by Southwest this year was because there were 3 artists from Japan that was performing at South by Southwest, and those are the artists that are up and coming. They're signed to labels in Japan. Actually, one hasn't yet. There were 3 artists. One was called Chameleon Lime Whoopie Pie. Interesting name. And another band called Kroi, Kroi, and another one, the other one was Ako, Ako. And Michelle is in charge of Kroi and Ako in the US. So if once Kroi and Ako becomes a household name in the US, she's the one to be credited for.
Great. Well, so what are you looking for when you go out there? Are you working with artists that you've already signed? Are you looking for new artists and emerging artists?
Right. So yes, I was there at South by Southwest to help and make sure that things went well. We had some press going on, and I just want to, be there for them. Moral support for me, boots on the ground for Michelle. She was, she was running around behind the scenes so that, because a lot of Japanese artists and the musicians performing behind them, with the artists don't tend to speak Japanese English, so there's always that translation with the stage manager and make sure that all the equipment's there. We got there, and we would obviously we won't bring all the equipment. The artists won't bring all the equipment, so we would rent them in Austin. So say for I think it was for ACO. We had the rental equipment arrive at the venue. We opened up all the rentals, and obviously, and it happens all the time, but some of the equipment weren't there. There was a one cymbal missing. So we do the checklist, and then we tell the rental companies that we're missing a cymbal. So that we had a runner go get another cymbal that was missing. Those things happen all the time. So this is the thing that we are there for. We make sure that everything goes smoothly. Aside from that, thank God, everything went well, and the show was executed amazingly from all the artists that we were working on. So yeah, and I'm just there, so just to make sure that Michelle's okay.
Well, I was going to ask like Michelle, you have different goals probably than Kimi does, even though they're shared underneath the Project Asteri.
Yes, definitely.
What were some of the things that you're thinking about when you touched down at South by Southwest that were on your mind that you wanted to accomplish?
Honestly, I was pretty nervous at first because I didn't know what to expect. And
Your first time there?
Yes, it was my first time.
Lucky you.
And then I was expecting it to be like a huge field venue, like a typical big festival.
Right,
yeah.
right, like Coachella.
Right. But then once I got the hang of like what it was like, I don't know, I just got really excited. And it was day one was when it was the busiest for me, but it was very fun.
What is it really like? You said what it was really like. I mean, if you haven't been there, what's that like? It's not a big field. It's not the typical music festival.
It's not a big field. I guess you would pick, I mean, I've never been, but like New Orleans, I guess.
You've been there one more time than I have, by the way.
True. But I mean, New Orleans, I've never been to New Orleans, but I would imagine it's kind of like that, where it's just like
in a way, I think, it is a bit similar.
Right.
And especially in the evening, when all the bars become clubs, like live stage. But I think I guess so. It's a bit dingy, as Arwen mentioned. It's
like real, right? It's like real rock and roll, a real country, a real whatever the genre is.
I loved it because like music was pouring out. Yeah.
Downtown Austin, literally, it's no countryside. It's bang in the middle of the city. So I didn't actually get to experience the beautiful side of Austin. Aside of all the creatives, and the artists,
you have like a list?
I didn't see anything beautiful.
No. We'll have to. My cousins live there. We'll have to have them. We'll go see them and then have them take us out. Kimi, we'll see the beautiful side. There is a beautiful side. I know there's beautiful rivers and like out in the countryside and
so I didn't see that. I only saw sewage.
Oh no! You saw it with how many people descend on Austin for South by Southwest now? Do you guys know? Any of you know, Arwen?
I don't. It's an unimaginable number, though. Like literally, the city is full of people, traffic, and cars. But it's like, and the funny thing is, I think what did it is my friend Jet was like, the year that Lady Gaga played on top of the Doritos dispenser, it was all going to expand from there. I guess.
Were you there during that time?
No, I wasn't there.
You worked with Lady Gaga though, didn't you?
Yeah, in Japan though.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you've heard that, Kimi. I think she kind of made it like just go off. I don't know if that was just something that they said because they thought it was funny, but I think she was kind of a part of like turning into this huge experience, which I think is really amazing and cool.
Michelle, did you have, we got to take a break right now, but Michelle, did you have a list like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm here to work, but did you have a list of like, I got to go check out these bands outside
No,
of,
I was just
no?
down to just
You're,
go with the flow and wherever it takes me.
are you saying that because your boss is sitting right there?
No.
No, I was totally focused on
Maybe there
work.
was a tequila bar that I wanted to go to. No, I'm kidding.
Is
No,
that
I
your
did. I
drink?
did.
Is
I did make sure
tequila?
that. Yeah, I did
Yeah,
make sure Michelle
maybe.
checked out all the best restaurants, though.
Yes.
Oh, we're gonna have to hear about those when we come back. Well, we're going to break with Grooving Night. Guys, tell me about this song and the artist.
Oh yeah, so this artist is called Chameleon Lime Whoopie Pie, and they are a three-piece band from Japan, and they performed at South by Southwest last year as well, and was chosen as the best 10 performing band of 2023 by Vibe, and they came again. They loved it so much that they flew again to perform at South by. They had about 3 shows, I think, and all the show was tremendous. It was amazing. It was big turnout, huge crowd, and they just killed the show. So yeah, it was for them. For Chameleon Lime and People, it was a very good opportunity again, yet again for this year. They are a great uh, indie pop band. So I hope you love it. Please follow them, Chameleon Lime Pie, and their new song is called Grooving Night.
Beautiful. We'll be right back. This is the Kimi Kato Show.